Hello, everyone. Welcome to Canadian Law Tutor. We are looking forward to everyone join our conversation and answer your questions about the legal career in Canada. So today's topic is legal career in Canada. If you have question, you can post me a question and I would be happy to answer. Thank you very much for joining me on your Sunday evening if you're in India, Sunday morning if you're in Canada. So we have people from different time zones joining us, encouraging us. So we are here to answer your questions and support your dream to become a lawyer in Canada. So some people are messaging me on my phone, say that they're joining. So we will look forward to everyone to join. So we have first question popping up. So what do you know about Canadian legal career? What type of career options you have with there are two types of legal careers mainstream in Canada. One, when you have interest in law. Another, when you have substantial knowledge and qualification in law. So, how do we differentiate these two things, and how would we help our audience to build an understanding on Canadian legal career? So if you have an interest in Canada, so we have somebody just joined from Bangladesh. Thank you very much. It is so exciting to have you over here. And somebody from India, a wonderful girl. So whenever girls from India who are doing law, they contact me. It gives me immense pleasure, and it's my honor to be part of your journey because somewhere I was like you, and now I'm so excited to have you in my platform. So, as I was saying, that Canadian legal career is a little bit different than what we are accustomed in our, country back home or some other countries. Over here, there are basically two career paths which we can make. One is when you have interest in law. Interest in law means you can have an undergrad degree, which is your graduation in law, and then you can opt for a career something like legal research, legal writing, content developer, etc. in law. Then you can be a supporting career in law, as my understanding is there. But when you have legal knowledge, you have degree in law, then you can become a lawyer, you can become a paralegal, you can pursue these careers in law. Paralegal, it's its own course, which means people who are not lawyer, but they are licensed, they are regulated, and they are working in the legal field. They are handling the files on their own. They have qualification for the paralegal. There is a specific course, and Toronto School of Management is also launching a wonderful course in paralegal, and we would be supporting the application process for students in that. So paralegal course, which is an option were to pursue the law practice in Canada. The Law Society in Canada allows you to have practice in certain family law areas, certain personal injury cases, and miscellaneous criminal matters, which paralegals can handle on their own. Even a lawyer in this law practice has to have some paralegals along with him to handle the matter. So, paralegal is one area where you would be handling the stuff on your own. Another is lawyers. How to become a lawyer in Canada. Most of you are already NCA students and you have worked in different fields. So we have more and more people joining us. So we'll keep have a little bit more audience, and that will be interesting to see what type of questions they have. So legal career in Canada, as I said in the beginning, has two aspects. One, when you have legal interest, you have knowledge as well as understanding of legal aspect. You can do legal research, you can do legal writing courses, content developer. There are many post job opportunities in that field. You can be legal assistant, you can be or you can manage a legal office in that way. There are many things to do that way. Another thing you can do is when you have a law degree. Your law degree can be from your home country. You can do it from England, Australia, and you can do a law degree from Canada itself. So when you have a law degree, then you can start the licensing process. So we have a so hello Mehta, we are taking your question in a second. Let me finish that so that audience can have a connection, and then I'll come back to your question. Thank you very much for contributing to the process. So we have, I was saying that whereas with the law degree, you can have a lawyer license, and then lawyer license is available, is a process which is conducted by province wide. So first you will, with your law degree, you will go to NCA, get an assessment, and we have very many different videos for that, and you can watch on my channel. The recordings are there, and you can learn about how to get an evaluation and how to support the process. So NCA evaluation, and after that we have the process of writing the NCA exams. So for now we are coming to Metab's question. He says how difficult it is to crack NCA and where to get notes or coaching is necessary. Metab, that's a brilliant question. I would put it like that. I support self-studying. I think uh, I studied on my own, and I was very successful with my self-study. And so far, I have never taken any coaching. I Even if I failed in something, I would come back with more knowledge, more hard work, more understanding on the process. So I'm a very big supporter of self-study. Sometimes you need a mentorship relationship where you can understand the process a little bit more in detail to understand. NC exams are meant to test your knowledge in the law. So they will see if you read the syllabus carefully, and always say NCA process, you have to make two best friends. One is NCA syllabus, second is Supreme Court of Canada's judgments, which are so, I would say, let's put a word, like they are so elaborately written that they will cover each and every aspect of the law. If you put a one pick a case on bail hearing, then you would be understanding the whole history, future, as well as current in understanding of bail proceedings. So I will say in NCA you have to have two best friends. One is your law from Supreme Court of Canada, another is NCA syllabus. NC exam is not very difficult. Your pass percentage 50%, but you also need to understand that they are not looking, even though it's an open book exam, they are not looking for you to get copy pasting the answers or quoting something. They need you to do your personalized analysis and work from there. So that's how it works. You can, if you are looking for notes, you can contact me via my social media, and we do have quality notes available. And the coaching is also, the timeline is available on my website and on my other social media known as Canadian Law Tutor. And then you can learn about the upcoming classes and everything. A lot of stuff from my teaching is already available free of cost for benefit of everyone on my YouTube channel, and you can learn it from there. You can have a thorough understanding of a subject by clicking on the subject-wise syllabus, subject-wise classes, the master class, and everything is available free of cost for everybody on my YouTube channel. So we were going on to the basic question about legal career in Canada. One is with your legal interest, for example, writing, content developing, legal assistant, and all that stuff. Another is paralegal or lawyer coming and doing the law licensing process, and then they are running the law practice on their own. So the next question we have, I hope Mehtab, I have answered your question. If you still have a query, please post it here. And if our time ends here, you can always contact me on my personal social media. And I do answer all the social media on my own as the time permits. How to proceed in law from India? Which college or government? Which course is right that? Okay, so you need a roadmap. That's a very good question, Sahib. I will answer that. So, if you have done a law degree from any country, be it India, be it we have somebody joining from England as well. So if you have a law degree from any common law country means who are part of Commonwealth, who have used the British system, NCA recognize all those degrees at one level. So that being said, the NCA, National Committee of Accreditation, is a platform where you would apply for the application process. We also help you with the application process because Canadian way of writing a resume or writing a cover letter and putting your experience in a certain perspective is required. And that is also available as part of our services. But coming back to the knowledge and the roadmap, the first step for anybody, irrespective of your immigration status, you can start with the NCA application process. So once you start with that application process, the next step is they will take 2 months, 8 weeks, somewhere that depending upon process in the process like that. So in that situation, we are learning that from there you would be having assigned subject. These days, people are getting assigned 6 basic subjects, and these are core in the language of people running the NCA. Through the NCA, they would call it core subjects or mandatory subjects, and then another are elective subjects. That is Constitution, Foundations of Canadian Law, and then we have Foundation of Canadian Law, Criminal Law, Administrative Law, Professional Responsibility, and as well as legal writing and legal drafting involved and research involved. So these are the 6 courses which are taught personally by me all over the year, and I provide quality resources for them as well. So that being said, the next thing we would need is after NCA application, you have an option to go for any province in Canada and write the bar exam process. For example, Ontario has its bar exam and articling, and LPP or LPP. So that's a conversation for some other day where we will go more in detail about these components. Next thing we have is the BC bar exams and training process. And I also teach BC bar, the substantive part course, where you can pre-learn all the courses in your convenient of your home via Zoom platform from me through live classes or recorded classes. Another thing we have over here in Canada is CPLAD. CPLAD is combination of legal skill training provided jointly by Alberta, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Nova Scotia. And lawyers can join those courses as part of their articling, as part of their licensing process after doing your NCAs. You don't have to live in Alberta to join Alberta's process. You don't need to live in Manitoba to join their process. CPLAD is jointly available, irrespective of your status, to everybody in Canada. And it is hands-on training. They train the students to required skills in the law. And before joining those, you can join our pre-prep courses. That's a roadmap. And you can get a course, prep ready course, offered personally by me, in which you would be learning all the skills required from to which you would need in to succeed in prep courses. Because many international students are coming from a different legal perspective, they don't have the Canadian experience in their hand, and they would not feel comfortable going into pre-prepared without any preparation and getting overwhelmed. So you can join my courses and classes which are offered, and we can take it from there. Thank you very much, Karaval. It is a pleasure for me to have my successful candidates joining my webinars, supporting me, and encouraging the other ones as well who are joining. So, anybody who is joining the NCA process, you can go and read the testimonials on my website and meet people. We have a network of 45 lawyers in Toronto area alone, where my ex students are helping my future students with the legal skills. So we have a group called GTA Advocates, in which my students who got called to the bar in 2013, 14, 15, they are supporting the students of the future in Canada by providing them hands-on legal training. Currently, the positions are full, but you can always come back to us, and we would be happy to assist you in the future. So next thing we have is Arundoy Singh Jain is asking me question. If I give my last NC exam in June, pass it, yes, I believe there should not be any problem for you after passing. For example, if you can always register to NCA. So the question basically, if anybody doesn't have an understanding of the process, the question over here we have is the NCA exams, and the next step is the bar exam. So the question of Arandoy is basically for Ontario process. So he's asking us that if the question is in, so his question is if he writes an exam in June, can he write the last NCA in June? Can he write the exam in November, the Ontario bar exam? There is a possibility. There is no problem in doing that, and there is no problem in hoping that it would be done in that timeline. So that means that once you write the NC exam, and then you can register for an Ontario bar, you can becoming a candidate with them, but you have to be very careful, because from the day you sign up with Ontario, your timeline to complete the process also triggers from that day. Some NCA students make this mistake by making hurried decision that they should be joining the Ontario licensing process while doing NCA process. And you can start the process, fill out the application. Your application will not be complete unless you have done all the paperwork provided to them. But you also need to be very careful, because your registration process would trigger the timeline to complete that cycle as well. So the Ontario bar exam process should be completed as LSO candidate within 3 years. So you have to be very careful in that, because you're triggering those 3 years as well. So I hope I've answered your question. So that is very possible a dream and possible timeline, Arunday, and I wish you good luck for that. And then we have so somebody says all the information is available about BC, and there is all the information is available about Ontario, and they want to move for BC. BC is a beautiful province. I live in British Columbia. I'm also an Ontario lawyer. I teach BC bar programs, and you can also join me for my BC bar classes, and you can get Ontario license and transfer your license in BC as well. So your driving license and your lawyer license both can be transferred to the other provinces, no problem. Canada has a mobility agreement for lawyers, and they can transfer from Ontario to Alberta, Alberta to BC, depending upon your choices to live in the province. So that is a possibility. There is no problem with that. And all the application process and mentoring available is available for that. I do draft applications for abridgment of articles, transfer application, and all that stuff. You can always have a process in that. Um, yes, Kaval, you can transfer your license from Ontario to BC. I don't see that as a problem in that. Uh, it really depends how you comfortable feel in the process, and if you believe you will get an abridgment or exemption from article in Ontario, you should try that. And I think it's my pleasure to answer your queries and wish you good luck, and hopefully we will see you as a member of Ontario bar and member of BC bar soon, and I welcome you to the profession. Uh, so Amanda is asking question, if I do my articling in Ontario, can I move to BC for the bar exams? No, I don't see that process. Your articling part may be recognized by BC, so there is no clear route for that. There is no clear answer for that. BC bar BC Law Society may accept your articling, so then you have to ask them about your articling experience, and they are articles which may be accepted by them. So you never know for sure because there is no clear route. But usually, what happens is articling process is for 8 months. If our audience who is just starting the process and finding it a little bit difficult to comprehend the concept that what is articling is basically a legal training done through a law office where they will teach you the practical training and they will train you as you go. So articling is available through most of the lawyers who have experience, and you can join their law offices. So that being said, once you have done articling in different process and then different province, and then you go to another province to say, hey, you know what, I have done my articling, can you please accept my experience? It is a Canadian experience, and can you accept my experience and then take it from there? So then that's a discretion. Usually articling is 8 months, and what I've seen in my experience is the full exemption of articling in the new province is rare. They would usually say, hey, you have done our 8 months of articling, we accept that, but we would also like you to do 2 months more in our province because the legal culture is a little bit different. So that is what I've seen in my experience. I do draft these application and personally do all the drafting, so students get this kind of response. We have seen full exemption as well, but I cannot say for sure that full exemption would be possible. The same process works with when you have done experience in Ontario, or you're moving to Nova Scotia, Alberta, or anywhere else. So this is what the Law Society's usual response is. I'm not an authorized person to represent the Law Society's interest. I do my own business. So my answers are limited to what I know from my experience. So they usually would say, like, hey, you have done it for 8 months, so we will accept it equal to 6 months in our province, but you need to also do 2 more months in our province. So next question we have is, so Sahib, you are contributing a lot. Hi, there's another question trigger in my mind. What the total time duration become from any country? So I have seen people doing things in 1 year timeline. It really depends how you proceed with the person. So it's about emotional and psychological factor as well. How much stress you can take, how much work you can do, how much time you have in your hand, and how you utilize the time. So it's a very, very personal question, and it's hard to put in a process like that. So it is possible to do under 1 year if you get exemption of articles as well, but it may take 2 years. So you have to take that much timeline in your hand. So the next question is from Pooja. Hi Pooja, welcome Pooja. I My first friend was her name is Pooja, and she's still my friend. She was in my school, so I like this name very much. Can we give an NC exam while being in India? If yes, so if this is a career option, I'm an immigration lawyer, but I would keep my scope of questioning from the career questions only. So for immigration, we would have another webinar soon. I'm a Canadian immigration lawyer. I do deal with judicial reviews, visas of all types, but we would keep the scope of our answers for the career oriented question, because visa is something very very personalized. It takes a lot of personal assessment how your case is presented to immigration officer. So you should not get information. I always recommend anybody, it's worth investing in paying for a personalized evaluation by a qualified immigration lawyer, so that you can get an understanding about your case in Canada. Don't follow because everybody has different. Some people may have relatives, spouses, so they have their own financial and reasons and experience. So the visa application varies according to that. So I'm sorry about that, because that's beyond the scope of our today's webinar. So we would hopefully have a immigration information webinar soon in the scope of my immigration law firm. I work in a variety of law roles. I'm an education consultant. I'm a practice development lawyer who invests in other lawyers' professional development. As a coach, I teach. I help students in immigration and all that. If you need our immigration services, you can contact us directly. But today is my scope of my webinar is to give information about how legal career looks like in Canada. So the same, hi Simu, that's a very, very good question. What is the process and the course for Indian lawyer in Canada? The process is NCA, step 1. Step 2, you choose your province and then you do the bar exam, right? Next thing we have over here is the question. I hope I've answered your question, Simo. If there is something more, please type again. I would be happy to answer. So next question we have over here is, what is the starting salary of foreign trade lawyers in Ontario? So foreign trade lawyers are not discriminated in any way in Canada. It's a very inclusive and diverse country. We have very big support network over here, but the issue is, are we foreign trade lawyers ready to upgrade our skills to Canadian legal markets? So what is required in legal research, legal writing? So I offer many variety of courses which are beyond NCA or bar, which are profession ready courses available, which you can learn. And we have a wonderful student, Mr. Gareval here, who's been attending my professional development courses in past. So you can do those kind of courses and get yourself job ready. Just getting qualification is one thing, but what can we do to a firm or something like that is entirely different question. So many students make this mistake while doing NCA or bar, because they're just focusing on completing the process by answering and passing it somehow, cramming it, and not upgrading the skills. Passing the exam is very important. You should focus on that. But you should be also very mindful that your license alone is not everything. It's about how fruitful your skills are. So you should keep upgrading yourself in the skills of law, in technology and everything, so then you can be ready. And next number is about the money involved. So the pay scale for lawyers can anywhere between $70,000 to $130,000 per year on an average. This thing, and there is no upper limit. I've seen that in past, and my recent student has been hired, who is an internationally trained lawyer. He has been hired by RBC, Royal Bank of Canada. I have student who is Metro is a very big store food store chain. My student is a lawyer there. I have there is a um, Good Life Fitness gym chain, and my student is supervising lawyer there. So who is running, taking care of all the contract, and her pay is more than 150. So it really depends who you are, how much you invest in yourself. My students are working in Bank of Montreal. They're running their private practices. As I said in the beginning, that around more than 40 students have their private practice in GTA, that is Greater Toronto Area alone. I have students working in Alberta, BC in their private practices, jobs, corporate jobs. It really depends how you invest in yourself, and you can definitely be successful. So there's somebody's asking, "Hi Amanda, you are doing a lot of research on BC. I live in Fraser Valley and I enjoy this place so much. It's beautiful. It's worth coming here every day. When I wake up, I look outside with my cup of tea and I say, yes, it is worth it." So how difficult is to obtain an article position is BC? The fact that in Ontario they have the, so yes, there is rights and practice program. BC doesn't have the similar program, but in BC we have a lot of other stuff. And articling is not that hard. If you, as I said in the earlier in my conversation, it really depends how you upgrade your skills. So you should not just say think that I'm a lawyer and I have an NCA certificate, now I should get articling. You should think from the aspect that what an articling student is expected to do, and upgrade your skills according to that. And we do offer those kind of classes all year round, and you can do that. Yes. Then we have um, question. I've passed LLB from UK and now I'm in practice at Supreme Court of Bangladesh. Of course, you can apply for NCA application, and congratulations. Working in Supreme Court is an honorable position, and you already know how law works in common law. You will not find NCA subject in any way overwhelming for you, because the process is pretty much the same. So I would highly encourage you, if you need help in the process, you can go for our paid mentorship programs as well, where you can learn. But on also on from time to time, we provide free webinars, resources, and YouTube videos where you can learn and get going in the profession. Next question we have is Alberta and Manitoba. Alberta and Manitoba jointly, and Alberta, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Nova Scotia provide jointly CPLED program. That CPLED program allows you to get all the skills. There is a step-by-step process, and they have basically 4 modules to take. And before taking those, I would highly recommend you to take articling ready programs, in which you can learn the process in advance. So that's how they work. The pay scale doesn't change much throughout Canada. The earning for lawyers is pretty much the same for all over Canada. So the question is, what is the process for NC exam and how much will it take uh, time? Firstly, what to do. So the first question is to apply for NC application, and then you would get the assessment. But you know that you will be getting constitutional law, criminal law, foundation law, and professional responsibility, administrative law, legal writing, and all those courses. So it's better to learn those in advance while you are preparing and waiting for the result of your application. Hi, Maggie. So we have somebody in the UK. She said, I need to send my application to NCA. Apply to York for, or you. I don't understand what you want to do in University of Toronto or in York. Are you looking for an LLM program? Which, so please elaborate your question, and you can contact me privately, where I can get you in touch with somebody who is taking care of York University and University of Toronto application process, and we would be happy to answer that as well. Any other question we have before we wind up this session? So Maggie, my phone number is also available on my YouTube, and I can repeat over here. My phone number is 647-530-4220. It is an Ontario number. You would need to add +1 to it. And if you have any teaching, immigration, or any other query, or even a student visa, admission, offer letter, we deal with Australia wide, and we will deal with all of Canada admission process. You're always welcome to join and get our services. We would be happy to see you in Canada succeeding in your career. So we have a question from Manvarinder. So hi, we have the same last name. Yes. No, NCA application, NCA process is your foundation of your legal career in Canada. It necessarily does not help in immigration because it doesn't have the points of an educational qualification. It's an upgradation of a skill which you already have as a lawyer. For that reason, it may not directly help you, but it is crucial for your life in Canada to have NCA process completed. I hope I have I've answered your question, Manvarinder. It's my choice of subjects. No, Simu, you don't have a choice in the mandatory exams. For example, as I already listed 6 core subjects in our NCA, you don't have a choice. Those are mandatory. You would be writing irrespective of your process, but you would need to understand that sometimes people are given elective courses, and then they will be like, okay, you can do remedies or civil procedure, contract or evidence. So those kind of courses you have a choice, but in mandatory you don't have a choice. I hope I have answered your question as well. It's good to go for NCA instead of pursuing LLM from Canada. Then again, it goes back to Sonnet. Thank you very much for a question. So NCA or LLM is your immigration concept as well, and immigration is one thing which is beyond the scope of our webinar today. So it really depends who you are and how you plan to see your future in Canada. Why do you need to do an LLM, and why do you need to do an NCA? So we have an academic counseling for LLM available. You can directly contact me, and I will refer to you to my academic counselor, and that person can help you answer this question. Thank you, Sahib. I hope you enjoyed. Grewal says, ma'am, your mentoring was equally helpful as your teaching in my law journey in Canada. Thank you very much, Grewal. It was a pleasure to have you in my classes, and you are a wonderful, brilliant lawyer. And foreign lawyers do need a little bit of mentoring, a little bit more of faith, and they can succeed. And I wish everybody joining today in my webinar a successful career in law in Canada. Amanda is asking, you suggest to go for bar exams. Amanda, I don't have a personal choice. I teach CPLED, I teach Ontario, BC. I am a Canadian law tutor, so I teach all over Canada the law. So I don't have a personal choice. So it's again goes back to your personal situation. Total charges for NC exams, Simu, you can check on their website. I think the subject application and exam are around 300 to 400 per subject. So please, there is a calculator available on NCA Legal. You can check it from there. So we'll wind up our webinar by appreciating everybody who has joined, and I hope you are less confused about your Canadian legal career. And we would like to make it a regular feature so that we can connect to our audience who have confusion and sometimes feel not supported in the process. You should know that we are here to support your dream to become a lawyer in Canada, and we would be happy to see you in our classes, which are available all year round. There are some recorded classes which you can buy from our website, and we would be happy to see you successful lawyer in Canada. Yes, I do offer NCA program mentoring as well. So you can sign up and where you will get a regular support in the process. I do academic counseling as well, career counseling as well. If you are confused about your career, you can book a prepaid time slot where you can get a personalized evaluation based on your immigration as well as your career, because these are two interrelated areas which you need to have your own understanding. You cannot follow your friend in the process because your friend may have an entirely different interest, perspective, strengths and weaknesses, and it's all very, very personalized. So thank you very much for joining Canadian Law Tutor on the Sunday evening from people of the half of the world, and in North America, people who are in joining us for on their Sunday morning. So this is what it live session was meant to provide you information about Canadian legal career. I hope I've answered your question. If you still have doubt, my phone number is 647-530-4220. You need to add +1 because it's North American number in Canada. You can directly come to me through my social media, Canadian Law Tutor. Almost all places we have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, as well as YouTube, where you are with me. You need the resources, you need the teaching, you need immigration advice. You can always log in and get in help where you need. Thank you so much. It was my pleasure meeting everyone, and I hope to make it a regular feature. Bye bye.